Yo, what's up, ladies? Just ladies. Just ladies. Guys, it looks like I'm wearing a shawl right now. Looks like I'm wearing a shawl, and I am. I'm wearing a shawl right now. Judge me if you will, okay? But listen, this is how you get ladies. Gentlemen, pay attention, take notes. What am I doing? Watching stuff, so check it out. I was watching some stuff about Bitcoin, and I figured I'd come on, say what's up. What up, dude? One viewer. How you doing? How you doing? All right, let's get it going.
Today we're going to be looking at the most profitable coins to mine right now and a little bit of what the future looks like.
I was first introduced to Bitcoin mining back in 2009 when my friend Mackenzie, and I've talked about him in the past, but my friend Mackenzie was like, hey, dude, we should get a Raspberry Pi, which, by the way, I have now, but back in the day, I had no idea what that was. This is the first time I'd ever been introduced to the idea. And my friend was basically saying, hey, dude, we should get a Raspberry Pi and mine Bitcoin. I said, what's that? He said, oh, it's this like internet currency that you can use to buy things on the Silk Road. And I said, what's the Silk Road? And that led us down a rabbit hole. But I heard about Bitcoin a long time ago, did not have the money to buy into it. So here we are looking in retrospect more than 15 years later.
For them, as well as the best miners to mine them with. Mining has quickly become a billion-dollar industry. And if you're watching this video, I can assure you, you are still early. My name is Voss. You're on the VossCoin YouTube channel where we cover all kinds of crazy crypto stuff, including my mining journey as I march towards building a 1 megawatt mining farm. It's been pretty crazy, but let's go ahead and just, jump right into it.
Oh, crazy.
Although you would think the first coin we're going to talk about today is Bitcoin mining because it puts out $50 million in new coins per day. We're going to put that one later in the video because we've talked so much about Bitcoin mining previously, and it's the thing that most people are familiar with. Let's talk about the latest, greatest, the hottest craze. It's Caspa mining. $2 million of new coins mined per day, and the competition is not that fierce. It's really not. These miners are so profitable. They're so lucrative. Depending on which model you get, the kind of standard issue models here, like the Ice River KS3M, which has recently been selling around $7,000, depending on when and where you bought it, is mining $70 per day, right? Like plus 70 per day in passive income. I mean, you break that out, extrapolate it annually, it's impressive. It's crazy. But
okay, that's at current rates though. So if you did 7,000 and then you did let's see, no, sorry. If you did 7,000, I do this math quick, but anyway, and you did $70 a day, that would give you 100 days to break even. Divide by 365 will give you roughly a little more than a quarter of a year. So about a season. In a season, you can break even, and then anything after that is yours to keep. I mean, that's a good idea. That's a good for now, that's good profitability. But let's just say a quarter passes by and that coin has now reached like Dogecoin numbers. I mean, the concept of these coins are really fascinating on their face, but you flip that coin and you realize that, well, the value of these is not constant. So this $25,000 a year 3 months ago, I mean, that's almost been a quarter. That has been a quarter. So a quarter ago, he's talking about Bitcoin that was 50 million. They put out 50 million every single day. His recent videos indicate that there's 30 million after the halving of Bitcoin. So who's to say that Casper doesn't do something very similar?
there's some very unique nuances with Caspa mining that you need to know about. We're going to talk about those. The coolest part about Caspa mining is how accessible it is now that ASICs have hit the scene. So You can buy a plug-and-play Casper mining device that earns much more than it burns in electricity. Plug it in anywhere in your house, right? It's the Ice River KS0 Pro. This is their latest mini miner. These things are earning several bucks a day right now. They cost $5 to $10 a month to run, probably, in electricity. So again, very profitable, very easy to use, very reliable. They're very good devices in our experience. Gold Shell's also got their little Casper box miner, so something to be aware of. But the KS0 Pros have been great and have overclocking capabilities. If you want to push it even further, you just want to make sure that you're ready when you receive one of these and you have the right power cable. It's got this little 3-prong cable that goes into the associated power supply if you order it with the power supply, which most people do. And depending where you order it, you most likely get a power supply with it. So just make sure you've got a power cable that's going to plug into whatever you want when it hits your destination, so you don't have downtime and you're sitting there waiting for, like, come on, Jeff Bezos, where the hell is my power cable? Because you jump on Amazon and try to get one real quick. They're easy to source, say on Amazon, other sites, and even some local stores, or maybe you could just yoink it right out of your printer. You can order directly from Ice River. We've been able to secure the best coupon code they offer. It's code VOSCOIN. Punch it in if you want to order.
Says it's sold out. That's funny because at the time of making this video, at the time of him going into the details of this thing, it's already sold out. We're looking at roughly $400 for this.
A Ice River, anything from them, especially the KS0 Pro. They normally, at least on their site, list the best prices. Their miners quickly go in and out of stock. It is, to be frank, hard to get miners directly from them in the current landscape as Casper continues to rip and tear and upwards in price point. So most of our Casper miners we've actually gotten from ASIC Marketplace. They've been great to work with. They get us our miners quick, and that's another situation where we have the best coupon code available, code VOSCOIN, which works on every miner.
Does ASIC offer stock? $2024. It looks like it jumped up pretty heavily. I think I'm on the right. Am I on the right one? A6 Corporation. Let's read about it. Let's read what they do. Performance. Company insights. You don't have any insights? Are you sure about that? News. Why is it? What? ASIC stock catches fire along with its dad sneakers. Yeah, dude, this is a shoe company. This isn't even the right one. That's why you gotta pay attention. Why did they jump up in value then? That makes no sense. Is that the right thing that they called it? Let's see. Try this instead. This is back up.
Rip and tear and upwards in price point. So most of our Casper miners we've actually gotten.
ASIC. All right. That's what I put. ASIC stock. And then it shows you A6 instead. All right. So let's put some quotes around it. So it must contain that. Ignore operators. I literally put the operators in there so it would operate. If you could use the operators, that'd be real cool. That'd be real cool. Because I literally put that there so you could operate on that. Bruh. All right. Obviously, they don't sell stock. Otherwise, you would be very obvious.
From ASIC Marketplace. They've been great to work with. They get us our miners quick. And that's another situation where we have the best coupon code available, code VOSCOIN, which works on every miner except for the KS0.
I mean, because right now, a lot of the people are on the NVIDIA train. You should probably sell your NVIDIA stock, especially with the Bitcoin. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take anything I say and do it. But you with the having of Bitcoin, it would only make sense that people, especially given his recent videos, VOSCOIN, especially given his recent videos, I would project that many people are going to try to get rid of their non-profitable Bitcoin miners. It's going to be much, much harder now to mine Bitcoin. So they're probably going to put their miners up for sale because they don't want to lose out on money. And those pieces of hardware are actually going to deteriorate in value as it becomes, as more and more hardware is released. So I would definitely say that keep an eye out for these miners. I would buy them if possible. Like if you see them go up on the marketplace, I would definitely buy in to a lot of these Bitcoin miners, because it seems like they're probably going to put a lot of them up for sale here soon. So check it out.
Pro, because basically they don't have enough margin for the big Bosscoin code discount. So we have a specific code for the KS0 now, which is simply Bosk KS0. And I know this may seem like, oh, he's pushing stuff on us, sales, whatever. Dude, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you buy. I just want you to save money if you buy anything, because if you don't use a code, then you're going to pay more. And we got the best codes in the game. So why not support your boy while you're at it? I mean, geez. Come on. But, getting back to the serious points here, right? Depending on the miner models, we can talk about the KS1, the KS2, which is basically 5 KS0 Pros or 10 KS0 Pros. There's the KS3M, which is the most popular Caspa miner. Dollar for dollar gives you the most hash rate, right? Which is mining power. These are all ASIC miners, application-specific integrated circuit miners. They're purpose-built machines. They do one thing. They mine a specific mining algorithm where basically, from a layman's point of view, they mine one coin. A Bitcoin miner doesn't mine Caspa. A Caspa miner doesn't mine Bitcoin. But basically, the best miner, dollar for dollar, continues to be the Ice River KS3M. You're getting the most hash rate, the most bang or hash for your buck. The best miner, though, would arguably be still the Bitmain Antminer KS3. So my KS3M, based on its performance of hash rate and power consumption, is earning over $70 a day right now. That's crazy. And it's been earning that much, historically for quite a while. And many times mining even more coins than we're mining right now. The Antminer KS3, 9 terahash second version, is basically 50% more efficient. It's more powerful. It gives you more density. But Bitmain slapped a big premium on it. So I really like it because there's overlap with the control boards I have on hand. There's overlap with the power supplies. I'm familiar with it. I like the dashboard. It's been a great performance. It's been awesome. But again, it carries a huge premium, so most people are not going for it. But the latest Caspa miners out of the game is the new Gold Shell Caspa miner, as well as the Ivy Link Caspa miner. And on paper, these are very good miners.
It looks like that's also out of stock already.
But they don't have a proven track record of performance. And the initial...
I don't know what's going on with the audio artifacts on here. There's a lot of audio artifacts going on.
Verdict and rumors is that the Ivy Link KS Max is not performing that well. I can't speak on it yet personally. I'm trying to get one into review here on the channel. So basically, if you want a small Caspa miner to plug in anywhere, the KS0 Pro and the Gold Shell Box miner. If you want a big boy miner, right, you're looking at the KS3M, the Antminer KS3, and then also the new offerings from Gold Shell as well as Ivy Link. I've been talking a lot about Caspa recently here on the channel, though. So let's move on to the next thing. But before we do that, I want to bring up a note, right? I've linked out an ASIC miner tutorial video guide in the video description below, as well as a smaller, basically electrical focused video guide in the video description below. These videos will get you up to speed to get everything you could possibly want or need to know in this to start a mining endeavor safely and profitably. Because what do we say here? Learn more, earn more. That's the name of the game. And if you don't try new stuff, well, then you're going to be stuck doing the same thing, whatever you're doing. And if you're fine with that, that's fine. That's great.
Another plot thickens even further with this new Bitmain Antminer KS5. But
I'm sorry, I don't mean to put it so, well, I do mean to put it so fast, but a lot of these videos will be filled with fluff. And I get it. You want to reach a general audience. You don't want to be straight to the point. But there's something about YouTube tutorials that just absolutely grind my gears. If you're on here like, hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tutorials with Tom. Tutorials with Tom. Go ahead and hit that like and smash the subscribe button to get notifications every week for another step that you could get in your journey. So next up, we got the, like, shut up, dude. Shut up. Get to the fucking point. Get to the meat. Like, I don't know. I know that a lot of these people have to add fluff. Obviously, they're at 52,000, so they're doing something great. But I don't know. It couldn't be me.
posting an even higher hash rate, higher density, higher efficiency, coming in at a price point over $30,000 per machine. Rumor is there's not going to be many of these made, especially to begin. So rapidly developing. We'll see how this all unfolds.
To be fair, he's doing pretty good so far. It's just there is some fluff. That's why I'm doing that. I wouldn't be on here if it was what I just described.
A key thing you should know about Caspa mining, though, is the fact that it effectively halves annually and it decreases in emissions by about 8% step. every month. So if you're mining 100 Casper coins today, in 1 year, you'll be mining around 50 Casper coins. Just an example. But this does weigh heavily into mining profitability for projections and returns. It's something many noobs don't know about, or don't take the time to look up or research, or they're lame and don't watch Foxcoin. And I try to bring you the most important info always. There, I know. Good job, me. Thanks, me. Oh, jeez. But that's enough. The next coin, Dogecoin. Dogecoin is the third most profitable coin to mine. Still, previously second, but Casper has taken the silver position. Dogecoin is merge mined with Litecoin. And when you combine them, Casper's still above them now. The thing with Dogecoin, right, is it's the script mining algorithm. Normally you're mining Doge, you're getting paid out Doge as well as Litecoin at the same time for better and worse. It used to be, it's funny, it's ironic in a way. It used to be Litecoin mining, you got these 20 Doge meme coins on the way, you didn't really care that much about them. Then Dogecoin cemented itself as just an absolute powerhouse, and Litecoin has kind of faded a bit into irrelevancy. So it's now Dogecoin mining, and you get Litecoin along the way. Ironically, the best Dogecoin Litecoin miner is still the Bitcoin miner L7. This thing is a couple years old. It has not had true competition from any other competitors, and it's cemented itself in a league of its own. I'm worried about, personally getting more of these because it's been out so long, and it's just kind of time. It's kind of due for a new model refresh. And based on the length of time, the new silicon that Bitmain has access to, we all kind of think that they're going to release what they're probably called the Antminer L9, and it's going to be twice as good as the L7. But the L7s are very profitable miners. I mean, depending on what you're mining, where you're mining, they've been making somewhere between 10, 20 bucks a day for quite a long time. And that's in Doge Litecoin, or you can use it on a mining pool that automatically converts, so you get paid out in Bitcoin, among other things. Dogecoin mining was made very accessible due to Gold Shell and their mini Doge miner series. We collaborated with them in the previous bull run and released the Bosscoin mini Doge, which was really cool. And that was a fun experience. I bring that up mainly though to.
I didn't know that Litecoin merged with Dogecoin. I didn't know that those two were tied like that. That's really interesting. That's really, really interesting. I never really respected Dogecoin. I know it had its like time in the sun, and people are like, oh wow, like it became a thing. I made some money on Doge. I bought some Doge and then I sold it later on. I think the way I did it with Doge is I bought it at I think I bought like $50 worth, and then it jumped up in value to be $100, and then so I sold 50 of that, so I made my money back, and then I just kept the residual. So I have Doge, but I think it's only like $10 or $15 worth. It's not even much. But this was like at the height of Doge that I sold it. So if you want to know what my portfolio looks like, it's primarily Bitcoin. It's about 0.05 Bitcoin. And then Atom is next, ATOM. So Cosmos is, I believe, it's called Cosmos. So I have that because it had insane APY. I think the APY was like 12. It's like 13% right now. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So I bought that just to earn me money in the background. And while Bitcoin was down for a very long time, I transferred everything to Atom and I let it just grow while Bitcoin was lurking in the distance. So Shiba, I bought Shiba. I did the same thing with Shiba. I bought $40 worth of Shiba, which was about 2 million. And then I sold $40 worth of Shiba, which got me my $40 and 1 penny back. So I made 1 penny and I kept the residual. So right now I have about a million Shiba, and that's just chilling. It's chilling in the background. I must have transferred all of my Doge. Yeah. So it looks like what I did with that is I sent it to Gemini. So I didn't actually sell it. I bought $100 worth of Doge, which was about 274. And then I bought another 25 Doge, and then I sent all of it to Gemini. Yeah. Doge USD. Yep. So I got about 56 cents of that in Coinbase, but Gemini should have all of my Doge. Yeah, and Gemini's got. So I have another 0.05 of Bitcoin and Gemini as well. I think that totals around 6,000. So I have about $6,000 of Bitcoin. Could sell that all and make a miner. You know what I mean? about $80 worth of Zcash, so I wanted to see if that would be a good one to buy. And yeah, with Doge, it looks like that's down to about $40 right now. It's about $40. So that $100, I sent it over to Gemini so it could grow, and then it got locked. It got locked in the FTX thing. So I don't know if you guys saw the FTX. Well, of course you saw the FTX. So when FTX went down, it actually involved a lot more than just FTX because it was tied up in many different other exchanges. Gemini was one of those exchanges. So what I did is I sent a lot of my stuff over to Gemini so it could grow with their Earn program. But that Earn program was connected to FTX. And so all of the assets were locked away for about 2 years. And it was only very recently, like I would say within the last week or two, that they actually released all of those funds. So despite the fact that I've had like thousands of dollars of Bitcoin, that was just locked away. I couldn't touch it at all. And my projection was that Bitcoin would fall in value once those funds were released. And so I sold about like $1,000 or so recently in Bitcoin. I would say maybe like 1,600, maybe about 1,600 in Bitcoin. And I definitely called it because it fell in value, but not as much as I thought it would. It went from like 70K to 66K, which wasn't even that big of a fall. But I was not super happy to see it fall, but I did put some contingency and plan to profit off of that in the case that it did fall. So that's where I was at with that.
Just to give you full disclosure, I'm mentioning them. I don't have an affiliate relationship with Gold Shell. They actually, we used to have an affiliate account, and then they decided they didn't want to pay us and rugged us on that. But whatever, not really the point of this video. I speak about everything in full transparency here as always, right? They continue to make Dogecoin mining very accessible with their latest generation of mini Doge miners, the mini Doge 3. The mini Doge.
I just don't trust Dogecoin though. Like, and that's part of my experience with it, having bought $100 worth and it shrinking down to 40. I did the same thing with Shiba, and I think I earned about $40, like I was saying. I just have the residuals of that. But I think that Doge there's no limited supply of Doge. I think it's like an unlimited thing. So like, if you could just make more, why would you keep it? It's like the American dollar. Like, why would you just keep dollars in your bank account? That doesn't make any sense. Like, savings are cool and all, except that like you shouldn't save the currency of the American dollar that just shrinks like crazy. It's almost like when that raccoon video where that raccoon takes the fucking cotton candy and tries to wash it in the water and it disappears. Like, that's what that is. You're trying to save it and you're trying to cherish your money, and it fucking fizzles out in a bank account. So I'm not into it. I don't like saving like that. I love saving money in accounts that make me money. So if there's an account like Wealthfront is a good example, right? Wealthfront they have this portion of Wealthfront that will operate as a high yield checking account, and they'll give you up to, I think, 5% APY. So if I keep my money there, it's earning me money without me having to spend anything, without me having to think about it. I just put it somewhere and it earns me money over time. That helps me fight against inflation, right? Because if you put it somewhere and it's not making you money, it's making the bank money. It's just not making you money. And so your money is becoming less and less valuable if you keep it somewhere where it doesn't grow. So I'm trying to keep my money somewhere like that. I'm trying to keep my money like in 401ks where I don't have to spend. I don't have to pay taxation right now. I'll only pay taxation later. And hopefully there'll be points in my life where I can actually roll that money over. And instead of making like there will be points in my life where I'll be making like 30K a year or something, right? And in those times I could maybe roll over $10,000 worth of 401k money, and that's going to become post-tax income, because in that time I'll pay taxation on it and I'll pay a very low amount. So that's what I'm doing. That's my plan with that.
3 is a small, quiet, little mini hobby style miner. You can plug it anywhere in your house. Some of them have had Wi-Fi support, but don't bank on that. It's pretty easy to get Ethernet anywhere in your house. So if you want to use a power line adapter, or you want to just use a mesh network, like I have multiple Eero devices throughout my house.
I'm gonna pause here for just a second. Unfortunately, I can't actually pause the stream. I think if I hit edit, yeah, it doesn't actually let me pause. So I'm just gonna mute for a second and I will be right back. Sorry, I had to unmute. It smelled like beer there for a second. I was like, what the fuck was that? All right, let me mute that. I don't know if you guys ever smell that, where it's just like a wafting sense of like alcohol in the distance. And you're like, I don't really drink. I don't know what that was. It was the ghost. It's the ghost of alcoholics past.
We also built our house over the last few years, so I just also ran Ethernet throughout the house, which I could.
All right, 1 second. 1 second. I gotta
I'd be addicted to mining.
There you go. There you go. I know. Okay.
Not put Ethernet throughout my house. I actually regret not putting more Ethernet throughout my house. But alas,
Facts.
it's always a learning process. The L7 is king for Bitcoin mining, and the Mini Doge 3 is, fun, easy, accessible Dogecoin mining. And it is a cool thing to watch the Dogecoin, Litecoin just casually, hit your wallet, whether you're using something like, cold storage or an Exodus, hot wallet, or maybe you just mine directly to your exchange account, bang, go straight to Coinbase. We talked about the pros and cons of all those things before, so we won't talk about them today. Dogecoin and Litecoin mining equates to about, 1.5 million of new coins mined per day. Litecoin recently went through its halving, so there's not going to be a major change in the issuance of coins between Dogecoin and Litecoin for about the next 4 years, which makes the future mining profitability projections pretty easy to kind of think about and plan for. The next most profitable coin to mine is going to be Ethereum Classic, right? Ethereum Classic is actually the original Ethereum chain. Without going into all the history and the drama, it's still mineable. They have a modified Ethereum mining algorithm at this point called ETC hash, and it's putting out about $400,000 in newly mined coins per day. Ethereum Classic does have an issuance reduction, but it's not quite as severe as, like, say, the Bitcoin halving. So it's just something to understand and be aware of. Jazz Miner recently released the X16P. We got this into review. This thing has nothing short of impressive.
You like jazz?
Big, it works well, it's very profitable. I mean, it has very high earnings per day. We're talking towards like $20 a day, right? And it's not that expensive, consuming only about 2,000 watts. It's a pretty energy efficient miner, which costs you around $5 a day to run. And that's like, again, my 10 cent per kilowatt electricity rate as we march towards reducing that cost by 20-30% over the next year or so. And that's before we even get to my end game master plan of deploying solar, generate our own electricity. But I'm a maniac. That's what I do.
Yes.
Yes. The X16P is the latest and greatest and really big, impressive, profitable, dense miner. But if you're looking at bang for buck, it's still probably going to be the Bitmania Miner E9 Pro. This thing is a behemoth. It's even bigger than the X16P. It's unsightly. I mean, it's huge. If you've ever dealt with other Antminer ASICs, you think they all look the same, but not this one. It's like almost double the size, but it looks the same. It's weird, right? And that's due to what they need to do to mine the Ethereum Classic algorithm. Essentially, they jam a bunch of GPUs into it. That's kind of the quick.
Okay, so I think one of the important things to consider whenever you're looking at Bitcoin or you're looking at any sort of cryptocurrency is what are the applications of what I'm looking at right now, and what could the future of this space look like given what I'm seeing currently. So, like, when I'm watching this, I'm not looking for how do I buy this thing and put it in my house and have it run in my current space. I'm thinking, how do I create a space to most optimally introduce this aspect? And how do I optimize that thing? In my mind, I'm not looking at what the thing is. I'm looking at what the thing could be. And that's just compulsory. I cannot help I can't help but do that. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, can I buy land and put this in a shed where it's getting plenty of ventilation, so there's a lot of like wind coming through, for example. And oh my God. I'm sorry. I had this experience where somebody thought that windmills created wind. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but so I actually had a conversation with somebody where they thought that windmills created wind. And it was one of those really ridiculous scenarios where you're trying to tell them that what their idea is really, really stupid, but like in the most kind way. Like, oh, that's interesting because, see, wind is usually created by a difference in pressure, and wind travels from high pressure to low pressure, or hot environments to cold environments, like stuff like that, right? But this person, like, they were like, "Oh, no, it's not that. It's windmills. Windmills create wind." And I'm thinking like, "Oh, that's crazy," because like, there's plenty of places that don't have windmills that have plenty of strong winds. So like, I don't know where that would come from if that were the case. Like, so an interesting experience, an exercise in detailing exactly what ideas are and where they come from, and why you shouldn't think that windmills create wind. I don't know.
Way to explain it. But that miner is profitable. It earns more than it burns. You'll see the best miners for this again are like industrialized or big boy miners. iPollo does make some smaller Ethereum Classic miners. But unless you're like really bullish on that coin. I don't really see them being worth it to any degree. Interesting endeavor nonetheless, and I do want to be thankful and encourage more mining companies to release mini versions of their miners, but they also need to be like latest generation tech or close enough to where they're efficient, right? So if you buy a device and it basically never earns more than it burns, right? You might as well just buy the coin because there are many profitable miners to buy. Personally, I've got a good chunk of Ethereum Classic mining going on. If you are interested in this and you want a miner that's kind of like the best of both worlds, the Jazz Miner X16Q is a very good niche miner where the Q literally stands for quiet. So it truly is a very quiet miner. I mean, you can put it anywhere in your house, it wouldn't bother you. It's very efficient. It's got latest gen, chip technology and efficiency in it, but it carries a price premium. And that's kind of the problem with the Jazz miners in particular. They're very efficient, they're very profitable, but they're very expensive, right? And then Bitmain will show up with a worse design in this case, but it's much cheaper to the point where depending on your electricity, it may make more sense to just get E9 Pro. There's a lot of mining profitability to be had on the random X mining algorithm. But if you have a Antminer X5, which mines random X or specifically Monero, you will still be very frustrated by the fact that Bitmain has not either developed the capabilities or opened it up to the public, because there's always behind closed doors things going on with these ASIC mining manufacturers. There's only like around $50,000 of new Monero mine per day. Privacy coins have not been having a good time, including some big exchange delistings over the last several months. But Zephyr, however you want to say it, Zephyr, it's so fancy, man. It's put out $200,000 of new coins mined per day. It's a lot, and CPU miners are having a very good time with that. And if they've been stacking those coins, it's ended up being a very lucrative endeavor for them. And that opens up the whole category of speculative mining, which will just have to be a follow-up video at this point before I talk for hours and hours and hours. But that's just something I want to touch on and make you aware of. The next coin that I want to talk about is going to be Chia. XCH mining. This is hard drive mining. It's a bit different than most of the ASIC mining we talked about. Mining in this area is dominated by ASIC mining. Chia is hard drive mineable. You can DIY your own Chia mining rigs. There's something newer called compression, where basically you compress it and you get a lot more mining performance out of it. And there are a couple plug-and-play options. In particular, Evergreen Miner is a plug-and-play Chia mining option. You go over there, you buy a Chia miner, you plug it in, and it can earn a lot more than it burns. Hard drives are expensive, and a pre-made device carries a premium as well. And there's the Chia halving coming very soon, which will reduce the amount of coins mined per day in half, which cuts that dollar amount in half if nothing else changes. I'm personally really hopeful for Chia in the long term. I built out a whole hard drive mining shed. We've got a bunch of miners in there. And we're mining with over 200 hard drives here on our mining farm. I thought it was an interesting project, fun way to diversify. Any split in there that cools it constantly. And at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, including like random ridiculous fees or electric company tax on your meter, that whole operation costs me $100 a month to run. So I clear my electric in just a couple of days, and then it's all profit. I'm stacking all these coins. Obviously, I have my associated hardware costs. But the bottom line is these are miners you can plug in anywhere, right? 120 volt, 240 volt. Just make sure you got the right power supply and it's on the right setting. And it's going to earn so much more than it burns. This makes mining very accessible. It's the best thing about Chia is their mining algorithm and the green aspect, and the way that they have a lower energy footprint for their hard drive mining, the way it was all designed and all that. But the key takeaway is you're in California, you're in Germany, electricity is so expensive. Well, this is something you can participate in profitably. But again, carries a premium. And that premium brings you back to ask the question, well, if this is all so great and whatever, should I just buy the coin? That's for you to decide. Sometimes it's the right choice, sometimes it's not. In this equation, honestly, maybe. But I will say that if Chia, just surges in price and can maintain a higher market cap, getting hard drives is going to become so expensive. It's going to become difficult. You're going to have to definitely be DIYing the rigs at that point because pre-built hard drive mining rig makers like Evergreen as well as Juicy, which I'll link out below, and we've got coupon codes for them as well to save you some coin. It's code BossCoin. They'll be so backed up on orders. These guys have gotten backed up at times in a bear market, and that's no insult to them. That's how popular these are, and also it's a lengthy process. Plotting a hard drive, making it able to hard drive mine, you need the right hardware, and depending on your hardware, it can take literally days to modify the hard drive via the software to make it hard drive mineable. But if you go and poke your head into the Chia Discord server, which is like the BossCoin Discord server, but not as cool, same with every other Discord server, because I believe the original crypto mining Discord server, if you didn't know that. The point here is that it's called farming, okay? It's Chia farming, it's XCH farming. And if you say mining, some random nerds get offended. I'm a nerd too, but sometimes you can't be that nerdy. Just relax, ain't that big of a deal. You could call it Bitcoin farming. I wouldn't get upset about it. It's not untrue. Now let's speed run a couple more.
It's honest, but it's good work.
Coins, because this video is getting pretty long and the mining profitability isn't all that much on these coins, but they're still worth mentioning. These coins are putting out about $50,000 to $100,000 in new coins mined per day. So we're going to look at Dash X11 mining algorithm. The Antminer D9 is the best miner for mining Dash. It's profitable. It earns more than it burns. The emission of Dash linearly scales down as it moves forward. It's a profitable mining endeavor. But what is the future for Dash? Where is it going? Is it an old coin that survives just with the Lindy effect, or is there actually a brighter future for it? Now let's talk about Cadena, KDA. Best miner for that is still the Bitmain Antminer KA3. IB Link recently released their newest Cadena miner, but it continues to be worse than the Antminer KA3. There's also overclocks that are coming out and floating around that could really enhance your mining hash rate and density, but it's not really going to increase your efficiency all that much. Something to understand and be aware of. But the most interesting thing I think is kind of funny is that Cadena has rebranded to basically look like Caspa between their logo and their color. And it's an interesting move, and I'm excited to see where that goes because Cadena is basically supposed to be a very fast, scalable, mineable platform, cryptocurrency, blockchain, right? And then you have Caspa, which in essence is essentially the same thing, but the new kid on the block and boasts that they have better technology and has commanded a very serious market cap very quickly. Next, let's talk about Nervos Network, which has finally ascended in price some. I've been waiting a very long time for this. The best miner for the Nervos Network Eagle Song mining algorithm, the CKB coin or CK bytes, is going to be the Bitmain Antminer K7. I have been furious at my K7s for many months, but I will say the latest firmware that's come out, make sure you update your firmware if you buy these, has made a big difference. These miners were kind of treading water for me in my electric rate before the price increase, but now, once again, profitable. And all the coins that I've mined and held retroactively, I'm now into the green, if not in the green much further, which is a very cool feeling, playing the long game with mining. The K7, it's been out for over a year now. I don't really think we're going to see a new model of it too soon. So Nervos Network, I think, really is one to watch if they can kind of keep this momentum going. It's a cryptocurrency that has done well in previous bull runs. It has a high amount of coins, and people like having a bunch of coins, and they think no matter whatever the market cap is, all these coins, maybe one day I can go to $1. They have the moon bags and all that stuff. But that's one in particular I'm kind of excited about, something to watch. And the final category of miners I want to touch on in today's video is going to be Siacoin as well as Handshake. These mining algorithms are so similar that many of these miners can mine the other coin. Something to understand and be aware of. Handshake HNS coin hasn't been doing all that well, but it's not completely dead yet. Siacoin has actually, and then Sia cryptocurrency has been surprisingly going up in price point, reviving the mining profitability of many old miners. Gold shell with complete lack of.
That one's gonna go up. Siacoin, there's a lot of these like bumps, and then it goes down to when it bumps up and goes back down. It looks like that is about to jump back up. Let's check it out, because I think this was about 3 months ago. Yeah, 3 months ago. So splitCoin price. Let's see shit instead. All right. So it looks like it's been going down a bit. Let's go back about a year. Oh, okay. 5 years. Okay. Okay. So it tells a more complete story for sure. If I had to guess, this is probably settling back down to around this level, at which point it'll start to jump back up again. The only thing is that, like, you can look at the shapes of these peaks. This cluster is very similar to this cluster here. So we could be looking at a point of diminishing returns where it'll jump back up after reaching this plateau, but much smaller, you know, relative to this size shrinkage. Let's see, this is 5 cents to about, let's say 0.025, so it shrinks about half. Then the peak on the next one will probably be around like 1.25. Sorry, 0.0125. I would say that's probably what's gonna happen as one alternative. Another is that it jumps up in value. But looking at this peak beforehand, and it looks like not a lot of interest has been accumulated here, I probably want to update my opinion to say it'll probably trend downward. Let's look at the max. Yeah, and we can see that trend if we go back even further. Let's see, because this was at 0.5, so that one's probably close to like 0.07. 0.09. Okay, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. So we're going from around 10 cents to around half a cent to around a 0.025, a quarter of a cent. So we're gonna have like half of a quarter. That's probably what's gonna happen in, let's see. This is from 4/21 to 2/24, so almost 3 years. And then we should see roughly the same pattern here. Let's see, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, that's about 3 years. So in 5, 6, 7, in about 2027, January 2027, we'll see this coin be at 0.0125, because it looks like that's way too predictable. It looks like it's gaining some interest and then shrinking back down. So if you wanted to play this game, what you would do is anytime that it's underneath 0.0125, you would buy it. So where is that? If this is 0.0102, then this must be 0.01. So yeah, I would buy it up. I would buy it up like right now. I would probably buy it at any of these low points too. Anytime this coin, I am not a financial advisor, but anytime this coin is beneath 0.0125, I would buy, and I would buy it like on regular intervals until and then I would put in a I would continuously update a sell order to reflect 0.0125, and I would say sell all at 0.0125, and I would keep that until fulfilled, good until canceled, and I would just keep that on there as you buy more and more at regular intervals. Yeah, so then you could price average this entire lull that's underneath 0.0125. That would be my guess. That's just given the data, though. Given that data, that's probably where that coin's going to go. I can't imagine that this would be a good coin to mine because you don't want to hold on to this. Yeah, the 1 year graph really looks like that's about to increase in value. That is not the case, though. This thing is not going to increase in value.
Many old miners. Gold Shell, with complete lack of regard for their actual customers, released a bunch of old hardware, old designs that they had right on the heels of this mining profitability surge, setting a lot of miners up for failure. And that's the problem. If you're not constantly researching this or subscribe to BossCoin, best channel in the world. I know I'm biased. You may not know this stuff. It's a lot to keep up with. I do this 24/7. I'm working on the content creation side of the business for BossCoin, or I'm working on the BossCoin mining farm. And they're so entwined. There's a lot of overlap. I mean, if you're busy with a demanding 9 to 5, like, good luck keeping up with all this. I struggle to keep up with everything, and this is all I do. And like, team, it's not just me anymore, and it's still overwhelming. But there's some mining profitability to be had there, and I personally think that we're going to see either new miner or batch release from Bitmain to kind of just eat up that little chunk of mining profitability. If you don't know, Bitmain used to be really just Bitcoin mining, and then they had Litecoin miners, right? And then they expanded a little bit from there. But over the last year, especially, they've shown up in just absolute show of force, saying like, we make the best miners, we make the most efficient miners, and they released very efficient, very powerful, very profitable ASIC mining rigs for many different mining algorithms. We've talked so much about Bitcoin mining, so I'm going to run through Bitcoin mining kind of quickly. So Bitcoin is putting out about $50 million of new coins per day. $50 million, that is absolutely wild. A $50 million daily industry that you can participate with anywhere, right? If you have electricity and you have internet, you're in, right? And it's not gatekept by a degree, an application, not even language. I mean, nothing. So the best miners for mining Bitcoin on paper is the Bitmain miner S21, but personally, myself and many others have had a pretty bad experience with S21.
If you guys want a free idea, this is my idea for that. Bitcoin mining produces a lot of heat. So you would want to be somewhere where you can get relatively free electricity or free energy. You'd also want to be somewhere where it's cooler. If I were mining Bitcoin in today's day and age, what I would do is I would do that in Iceland. I would do it in Iceland because you can get electricity fairly cheap. I believe internet is nearly free. They have geothermal vents, which create many of their electricity. So I would definitely create a hub there. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place in Iceland. They have beautiful people. I would create it somewhere to where you are creating heat for good reason. If you Bitcoin mine in like Arizona, like good luck. You are not going to chill that out. But if you do all of this computing in a relatively cool environment, you're going to be much more profitable than you would be otherwise. And I know that Iceland has cheaper electricity and it has, I think, free internet. It's something like that. It's like free internet. So Iceland would be a great place to mine. Let's see. Let's see. It's a good cost of living. Let's check it out. So this is Numero. The cost of living in Iceland for single person without rent. Without rent, you're homeless. Cost cost of living in Iceland on average is 17% higher than in the United States. Okay, so it's more expensive to live there. Rent in Iceland is on average 6.7% lower. Okay, well, how can that be? Meals, let's see. Okay, I don't want to edit that. I just want to change that to USD. Let's not be plebeians. All right. A typical meal is about 20 bucks. All right. Doable. Meal for 2 people, mid-range restaurant. 3 course, 117. All right, it's not that bad. A water's $2. This all seems like super familiar. Market milk is $6. All right, that's a little steep, but whatever. Rice is like $1. Loaf of bread is $3. Like, that all sounds super familiar. Okay, so a beef round. I don't know what that means. An onion is 86 cents. That's like literally identical. That is literally identical to us. That's a little steep for potatoes. That sounds about right. Actually, no, that's a pound of potatoes. No, that's a little cheap, actually. Oranges for a pound. You can get like a singular orange for $1. So a pound of oranges for $1. I mean, that's cheap. Gallon of gas is $8. That is a lot. That is a tremendous amount for gasoline. Why is gas so expensive? What the fuck? It looks like transportation is insanely expensive. How does the wait? The range? Oh, okay, so this must be the range for them. The range for them for gas is between $7 and $9 a gallon. That is insane. That's absolutely insane. Utilities, about $100. All right. I thought internet was free. What's with this $70 for internet? What is that? Fitness club, $62? Dude, what are we doing? Okay, this is really it. All right. Apartment, 1 bedroom. More than I pay. Oh, but that's in the city center. 1 bedroom outside is about what I pay. All right. That makes sense. This checks out. Buy apartment. All right. Average monthly net salary after tax. It's $4,000. Yeah, after tax, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Wow. Wow. Let's see, this place in other languages. Yeah, this is just, that's not bad at all. All right, let's see. Yeah, look at that. Look at how beautiful this place is. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. I would live here. I would live here.
One of the basic tenets of the Icelandic accent is the upward inflection. Are Icelanders asking questions, or
What? What is this upspeak?
are they stating facts? Nobody knows. As far as English is concerned, V and W are interchangeable, okay? So just forget about V, use W now to say Viking, video, and virus. And similarly, if you have a word that starts with W, just flip it over to a V word, okay? So vetting and Wolverine and Wachtlaga Westfirdinger.
Wolfgang Puck.
To really ham up your new Icelandic accent, consider overemphasizing TH sounds and R sounds, R, or as you would pronounce it in your newfangled Icelandic accent, Ars. But to really sell that elfin quality, the most important thing to do is simply to speak as softly as possible.
Ooh.
It's been my experience that people are most receptive to the Icelandic accent when you're sprouting pure nonsense. They don't just want it, they expect it. My palms smell like vodka and potato salad. Sometimes I like to braid horsehair into my pubis. Our economy is very stable. No, we love the new Prime Minister. He is single-handedly keeping up our entire hair pomade industry. Just as a disclaimer, Icelandic people will spot your fake accent from a million miles away because it's terrible. But a foreigner might not be able to spot the difference. If you, however, would like to fool an Icelandic person, please watch our video, How to Speak Icelandic.
What? Carry a conversation.
Yaya is a casual term for well. It's also interchangeable with, well now, I will say so. If you approach an Icelandic person, chances are that if you say yaya, they will just start talking.
Yeah.
Yao means yes, obviously. You can say yes to prompt an Icelandic person to continue speaking to you. You also means yes, but it can infer
you crank that soldier boy now. You crank that soldier boy.
doubt, which encourages the Icelandic person that you're speaking to continue to explain themselves and carry the conversation going.
You.
Both yao and you can be doubled up. For example, yao, you. And to further impress this person that you're speaking to, you can inhale as you say yao or you. So for example, yao or you. Got it? Yeah.
You. Yeah.
To inhale as you say yao or you, tell the Icelandic person that you're talking to that you agree with them so much that you can't wait to exhale to tell them so. And as long as you do it, they won't know that you don't understand what they're saying. Now, let's practice. All you have to do is start off with yaya and then string yaya, yao, and you into a long sentence. Occasional pause.
Yeah. Yo, you.
Yaya, yao, yao, you, yao, you. Yaya, yao.
It's the inhale for me. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. That'd be actually like kind of creepy. You. Sorry. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I love you guys. I know I haven't finished this video. Should I finish the video? I don't even think it's that much left in here, so I guess I'll finish this.
I've got 2 F21s in so far, and one of them broke within a week. A $5,000 mining rig, not even lasting about a week. Incredibly frustrating working through the repair process. Now, subscribe if you want to hear me complain about how that one's going. The best latest gen miner, in my experience, and quickly becoming everyone else's experience as well, is the Micro BT What's Miner M60S. So this is a direct competitor to the S21, right? You know, these new gen miners have a hash rate of about 200 hash rate, terahash a second, and they're consuming around 3,400 watts. Understand, right? When it comes to mining, depending on which coin you go after and which miner, there are miners that cost, a couple $100 that earn more than they burn. So in my experience, they've been profitable, they've been lucrative endeavors. But you can also get bigger and bigger miners. You go after something like Bitcoin, right? The biggest, the OG cryptocurrency very established. You're competing against literally publicly traded Bitcoin mining farms. So understand that these miners carry a premium for numerous reasons. So latest gen Bitcoin miners can be had right now for somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000, depending on the model and the ETA receiving that miner is. These are miners mining, say $15, $16 of Bitcoin, maybe going towards 20 as Bitcoin's been creeping up in price. Daily mining profitability. They need to run the numbers on what it costs to run. So for example, these latest gen miners cost me around like $8 a day to run and about a 10 cent per kilowatt hour electricity rate. So I clear more than double over my electrical expense. But the elephant in the room is the Bitcoin halving is looming, where the amount of Bitcoin mined per day will be cut in half. And that will take my latest gen miners from being pretty profitable and lucrative to basically breaking even. I think Bitcoin's got a very bright future. I'm not too worried about it. But that's where the next best miner comes into question, the Bitmain Miner S19K Pro. They made a lot of these. These are kind of maybe seem like the last hoorah of the previous generation of S19 miners. These can be had for around $2,000 for single quantity orders. They're profitable. They are a rock solid generation. The S19 Bitmain Bitcoin miners are revered as overall great miners. So that's kind of the gist on that. There's some smaller like hobby style miners like the BitAxe and also the customized S19K Erlacher miner. You can check those out on Altair's site. Altair is a mining parts and miner reseller. It's been modified and downclocked to essentially run on any outlet in your house, on 120 voltage. You don't need 240 voltage. And I'll kind of specify that as we go along. But 240 voltage, right? Watch our electrical guide, learn how to do this. It's easy. Don't be intimidated. But the bottom line is most miners come with attached power supplies, and 240 voltage cuts your amperage use in half. It's just better for a lot of reasons. So miners are built around that. So you may need to add a circuit if you want to mine on a small scale in your home. If you're building, say, a mining shed or something like we've done, you'll obviously be putting a sub panel in there. You'll be doing 240 voltage. You can look around how we built our farm. It's 240 voltage everywhere, single phase, and we're working with our electric company to bring 3-phase here to scale our operation further in the future. Altair's been great to work with. They supported the channel by giving us an affiliate link. So if you go and grab any of this stuff, please use our link. Support the channel, but more importantly, support yourself by punching the code boss coin to save some coin. And to give you a heads up, my favorite thing that he actually sells are his mining PDUs. These are great form factors. They're the cheapest mining PDUs or PDU you can use for mining. So they're quite literally like the best bang for buck. They're purpose built and they're just quality. They've got good data on them. It's just check them out. Like if you're like, oh, I need a PDU, that's going to be the one, truly. And obviously I'm going to link out all the stuff I'm talking about down in the description below. You're the Boss Coin YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, stick around. Please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on everything we talked about. Did we miss a coin that we should have brought up today? I think there are more coins than what we talked about today, obviously. Thankfully, truly. And if you do want to buy a miner, please consider supporting us by punching in the code BossCoin, right, to save yourself some coin. Also supports the channel. Use our links. If you find a better deal elsewhere, shoot me, tag me in the Discord or make a post on BossCoin Talk or shoot me an email. I'd be happy, to try to help you find a better deal that may still be able to support the BossCoin YouTube channel. We've got some great affiliates that work with us that they're here to give you the best deal. And that's we've had calls, we've had lengthy conversations about like, hey, like if we're going to work with you, right? Content creation is a key piece of like what we're doing moving forward. And we don't need just sponsors, but we need great sponsors that will support our community, support our subscribers, and truly help us cement and help us say like, like we're the best. Like we got this. We connect our subscribers, our viewers with the best deals and customer service, which is oftentimes too overlooked when people want to save like say $100 on a miner and then they don't get the right model or it takes forever to ship. Speed kills in many things, and it absolutely kills in the mining game. Getting that miner quickly is the #1 key to success that I found personally in the mining game, right? Quick when it releases, ideally, or at least quickly after I order it, right? And make sure you're ready to deploy it the second you get it. So that's all I got on that note. Let me show you something way cooler than me. That's going to be Tails. Hi, Tails. 10 seconds of Tails. You're running on every video. Tails, what do you have to say to the viewers? You thinking bark, 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 or bork, 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 or what about ruff, ruff, ruff? Tails, our CMO. She's our chief mining officer, and I think she's a good girl. You bored?
Nice. All right, cool. That sounds good. Yeah, that's the rest of the video. So I just want to play that out. Yep. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I know we didn't really react to too much, but yeah, we'll hit it with the next one. And I just figured I'd explore that for a little bit. Bitcoin's been on my mind recently because of everything going on. My fund's just getting released, so I've been selling a little bit of that here and there, and I've always wanted to mine it. So I don't know, keeping that in the back of my mind, and maybe one day I'll have a solar farm and pair that with an actual farm. Things will be good, and I can just do content creation full time. So hopefully that's the future for me. But if not, I'll see you on the next one. Love you guys.